Hi guys, happy Sunday. I hope everyone's had a wonderful weekend, whether or not you work traditional hours or not. I am here with my sweet little boy. Now this is Thomas Niklaus, who goes mostly by Niklaus, and he's joining me today for a good reason, and that is because Niklaus is named after a character on a show called The Originals. And Niklaus Michelson was one of the original vampires ever. So this show was about their family and then the people around them. And so he is joining me today for a talk about real life vampires. But let's just take a moment to appreciate how cute he is. He has this little faux hawk going on. The sun is starting to go down, so we've got a nice soft evening light. Okay, so he's in his mother care sleeper. It's got these little, it's white and it has little scenery with little sheep grazing on the grass and little duckies, and that's in like a gray color. It's almost somewhere between gray and khaki. And then he's wearing hand mitts that are white with tan stripes. And he's wearing, on top of his footed sleeper, he is also wearing slippers. And they are sweet little Gerber giraffe slippers. So on the front are little giraffe heads. And he's got his little passy. It's got a little tan colored elephant on it. And he's just the sweetest guy. There we go. The color adjusting a little bit. If you haven't seen him before or watched my videos before, this is the Atticus sculpt by Laura Lee Eagles, and he was reborn by an artist named Wendy Graham. She is in the UK, and you can find her at wendy's-babies.co.uk, and Wendy's is spelled W-E-N-D-Y-S. All right, so I had a thought in my head while I was driving the other day, and I wanted to pop on and make a video about it because that's kind of how content occurs for me. So, of course, I haven't had any incidents of drama or any crazy stuff or any fights or falling out with anybody, so this is just one of my, musings. Oh, look at those cheeks. My video today is, are you a vampire? Or are you affected, or are you a magnet for vampires? So there are actually some suppositions or some theories that the story of vampires came about because of real life vampires, energy vampires. Now, I'm sure that there's a deeper, more literal superstition associated as well. So I wanted to take a look at that because it is something that I do come across, and it is something that I witness from afar, and certainly here in the community. And this really is the only online community that currently I am active in, so of course I will always be referencing the Reborn community. And also we are made up, a large majority of us are women, and I find that, bless you Tumo, I find that when you bring a lot of women together from different modes of thinking and living, you tend to have, because we're very emotional beings and yada, yada, yada. So anyway, so what an energy vampire is, in my understanding and in my definition, is somebody who wants to latch on to you or me or somebody and suck the life out. There are other ways of looking at it. There are things called like energy control dramas where you're trying to control the energy, the shared energy and the interaction. That would be a theory that's well taught in the Celestine prophecy. But the vampire image would be somebody who latches on and then drinks from your well of life, of energy, of life force, of power to fuel themselves. Now, in the vampire mythology, the vampire always had to be invited in. So if any of you ever saw that really awesome movie back in, I think it was the 80s, The Lost Boys, that was a great, great vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland and some other awesome people. But they couldn't just come in your home and attack you. They would knock at the door. They would try to make plans. You would have to actually invite them in to your home before they could enter. But once they could enter, then you could be prey. And so I've been thinking about this a lot in my head. One thing that I've witnessed a good amount of here, not just here, but here lately, is that people like to make other people that they meet here in the community, their friends or their acquaintances, or just even people that they watch, responsible for their well-being and their happiness. And without asking them if they want that role. It just sort of is sprung on them. Maybe they're just innocently going in thinking that they're having casual conversation and, casual friendship with somebody. And then all of a sudden there's this massive social expectation put on them, or this demand for attention or interaction. I also see it happen to a lot of very compassionate people who are warm and don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so in addition to being draining, I feel like it's, we all seem to have a good sense for what type of people will gel with us. And that goes back to control dramas. That goes back to pain bodies. We tend to seek out the person that will play the role for us, that then we can play our role, and then we can get what we need. Whether we're playing victim, aggressor, needy, hurt, aloof, manipulative, whatever it is, and then you create those situations, and when you match up with somebody who's susceptible to that, you have this great little dance that goes on. Anyway, I kind of feel like we should stay in our own lane, like the people that are closest to us that accept that role to help us be responsible for our well-being and stuff, like that's something that is an agreement between two people. Also, I think it's really good for us to remember that little imagery that, you have, the vampire needs to be invited in. So boundaries are really important in my mind. I think having healthy boundaries, you can be kind, compassionate, gentle, loving, and welcoming. You don't have to just block everybody who is, wanting more from you than maybe you can offer, unless it gets out of control. But I think clear communication and honesty, I think it's difficult for us at first. I know it's uncomfortable for me, but I think even just in your mind having those boundaries, sometimes even that in itself will thwart people off. And if you have found yourself in a situation where you are being drained, by the way, there is an exercise you can do. If you picture, you're in a sea of infinite energy, in my opinion. In my opinion, everybody's got a different ideology, philosophy, religious belief. But I believe that we are in a sea of infinite energy that comes from the infinite with a capital I. And if you find that somebody is just draining you, and that can happen even in your interactions that you have to have with work, right? Some people they see you, you're bright, you're shining, and they want that. You just imagine plugging your back, like you're a raindrop dropping into an ocean. And you plug in from behind into the sea of infinite energy. And then as somebody is drawing that from you, rather than having them draw from your personal energy, just see the energy of everything being drawn right through you, and it feeding them. And then you aren't getting drained. Just your focus, your attention, and your intention can have a lot to do. So anyway, I guess that's my opinion. That's my take on things from my life experience and the things that I've learned and studied and that kind of thing. And I guess my question is, have you experienced this? Maybe are you experiencing this? Do you have trouble getting yourself out of these situations? Or maybe have you been this person, or are you this person? Do you have a hard time differentiating between friends or people that you just really want to be your friends? And anyway, that's my take on it. Anyway, guys, that's my 2 cents on the topic. I hope that you enjoyed looking at this gorgeous little boy. We are sorry for the short video, but we have got to run. We have so much to do and so little time. But thank you for stopping in. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you guys. I look forward to hearing from you all. And if you're not subscribed and you do enjoy seeing my babies, please do remember to click the subscribe button. Otherwise, thanks for being here today, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye.